All right, folks, let's see what we can make happen here. Coming live from the wifey's laptop and looking forward to connecting with everybody here tonight. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, shoot, that link's not working. I'm going to wait. We got a couple in the chat. Okay, Slam, how are we doing tonight? Can you guys let me know that you guys can hear me loud and clear? There's probably going to be a little bit of an echo. I got the most ridiculous setup right now. I'm using my phones as lights. I got a little mini light. I should have brought a better setup. I was down, I'm taking a longer vacation, an extended stay, and I knew that I was going to be making content every day. So I should have brought the full works with the production studio lights, and maybe I should have done a road trip, brought it all down here. Okay, so we're loud and clear. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. If you guys can do me a favor, I was having trouble sharing this one out far and wide, so please, can you guys drop a link on Twitter? Let everyone know that we are live for the night, Sunday night session. We're going to go through current events, the markets, and talk about the next wave for the crypto space and the next bull run. We still have a ways to go here to finish off this bull run. We're just getting started. Many people confused, thinking that, this is it, this is over, and we're really just getting started. Temporary pullback, healthy correction, call it whatever you want. I don't think that it's going to last that long. Even worst case scenarios that I'm running through, we could chop sideways for a couple months, coming lower, chopping sideways. But it looks to me like this, downward trajectory won't last more than a few months maybe before we continue back up and we continue this bull run. I'm going to explain why I think that we basically, don't have too much to worry about here. And right now we can take advantage of this opportunity to be building relationships in our life, working on our side hustles, our business. There's so much to get done. I'm going to talk a little bit, make a point about prepping tonight as we see the United States and Canada, North America hit by a major storm. We're seeing all these different areas that are doing blackouts, they're rolling blackouts, use less hot water, turn the thermostat down, and, all these situations that are now unfolding, which you make a joke of until it's happening to you, which is why I don't really like being in the area that I'm in right now, out in the middle of the desert. There's no clean water to go get around here, it's, you got plenty of sunlight. So if you got the solar system, you can keep it on. But I get uncomfortable in areas like this out here in the desert, Southwest United States. And I am going to be bringing another real estate update for you guys later this week, a broader, more general real estate update. And then I'm going to speak, specifically on this market that I'm at right now. And I will share that with you guys later this week. We're getting 3 data points this week that are going to be very important. We're getting starts, permits for new housing, and then we're also getting existing home sales. So those 3 data points alone are going to give us a lot more insight into the real estate reset. And I also want to speak on the market as I'm, here on vacation. I'm observing, looking, and want to give you guys an update on this market and whether you're looking to buy or rent in this market, or whether you're looking at this market for investment. The market that I'm in right here in Phoenix, Arizona metro, the Phoenix metro has gotten so big. It's so massive. And I haven't made it out to the edge of the desert where they're stuffing in thousands of homes right now. But this is going to be, ground zero for the real estate reset here in the United States, this market. And so I'm going to speak more on that later when I bring you guys the real estate update. With that being said, appreciate everyone for tuning in. We need some positive news. Arizona has plenty of water. Yes, I understand. Yeah, it also has millions of people. That's really what worries me. I'm not a city guy. And I'm whispering like I got, out here in the middle of this, like I said, every city in the United States faces its own struggles. Every state is in a different situation. But for me, coming from small town USA, when I get into a big city like this with millions of people, we're on alert at all times, to say the least. But without further ado, guys, thank you for coming on in. If you appreciate my content, we drop content every single day. We try to go live as often as possible, coming live here while we're on vacation, so my setup's not perfect. Thank you for hanging with me. And if you do appreciate what we do, if you guys could just like the video, keep on dropping comments down below while you share it out far and wide. Friends and family, let's get them tapped in. At least you'll be able to tell your friends and family, hey, I sent you the links. I tried to show you, tried to tell you about this little XRP thing. I tried to tell you why you might want to hedge with precious metals. I tried to warn you that it's time to start the side hustle. It's time to scale up the business. We got to bring in more dough because we're going to get wiped out through inflation. And God willing, we can stack up some extra cash to invest into assets, acquiring assets, building wealth. That is the goal here. It's not just, let's gamble our allowance money and turn $500 into 50,000 and then buy a little whip, rent a little girlfriend, and that's the end of our story. We're here to build generational wealth. And so this crypto space, so emotional, so volatile, and it wears on you. I get it. I really do get it. The prediction that we made last week, that everything played out exactly like we talked about. I didn't think that they were going to approve it. I thought they were going to delay. I thought they were going to say national security. The SEC Twitter account got compromised. We're not going to be able to pass it just yet. This is a extraordinary case where we're extending out the deadlines another 30 days or something like that. But no, they went ahead. They signed off on all 11 of these spot Bitcoin ETF applications. We were off to the races up to 49,000. And then as predicted, we've had a historical correction back down below 42,000. I'm going to show you guys the charts here to get started. Earlier today, we had actually already gone below 42,000 for a brief moment in time. Let's take a look at the charts. Let's get started right away. I'm coming live here from a new computer, so linked up in the description. You're not going to see my usual description right now. All it says is zachrector.com. That's where all of our community resources and the safe spot to get in touch with me. Please remember, there's lots of impersonators and scammers, so I got to give that warning. I do not send out any DMs anymore on any social media platforms, period. Only place to get in touch with me is through my website or if you're in our Discord Patreon exclusive private community. Got to protect the community out there, so please stay safe. Watch out for the scammers. I am not sending any DMs, period. zachrector.com is where you find it. Let's roll. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. Where are we at? Okay, I pulled up this. This is just Twitter. And we are looking to go to our chart. There it is. So you guys see right here, we were all the way up at 49,000 right up here. Okay, 49,000 for your Bitcoin after we get the news. Everyone's having a good time, but we warned about this move. And if we just pull this level right here that we see, we did a full correction of about 15%. That's nearly a crash. And this correction's not over in my opinion either. So I do believe that we will probably hit 20% or more, which even if we did that, I mean, where does 20% take us down to? Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a 38,000 range. We do have support in that area. I asked Twitter today, I said, guys, do you think that we're going back down to the 30 to 35K range? I'm seeing lots of calls for that. And this is typically what happens is after a big move like this, it changes all of the sentiment. And now everybody predicts blood in the streets. And now actually the shorts are piling in. We're getting a lot of shorts that have come in over the past 48 hours. Remember that the markets are going to be closed tomorrow for MLK Day. So we'll only have crypto trading and the futures market will open up later in the day, but the traditional stock market will be closed tomorrow. So it's a crypto only day. We're going to be watching this one closely, but here, this is the 4-hour candle. We just started a new 4-hour candle right there, but you can see we did recover quickly, but we did briefly go back below that 42,000 level here again today, Sunday, January 14th. So we're going to continue to watch this. That's your Bitcoin update. I hope that everybody was able to be prepared for this that was listening to us. We warned about this moment. The amount of crap that I took over the past few weeks making this call, it was well worth it because it ended up coming through, and that's what I'm here to do, is to make sure that you guys are tapped in. We cut through all of the narratives, all the hype, all the BS, all the disinformation and misinformation, especially that's thrown towards the XRP community, and we provide clarity. for our community on where this market's heading next. That's why I drop predictions. That's why I get excited and I put out emergency warning. I put it out 4 days before the spot Bitcoin ETF. You guys heard me the weeks leading up to this. This was a call that we saw a long ways away. And I'm so glad that we were able to prepare our community. And hopefully you guys have been able to buy cheaper crypto, cheaper assets. We love to see it. Now, let's continue on here. Back to the charts for Ethereum. It was an incredible run up. Let's take a look at it. All the way back up to about 2,700 for Ethereum. Big move, big move. And you can see on the chart right here, this thing just started to rip after everybody saw, okay, spot Bitcoin ETF is approved. Now what comes next? It's going to be Ethereum. And we're going to be watching this. The deadlines are out till May. We're not going to be holding our breath on this one, though, because we know Gary Gensler, SEC, they still will not come out and say whether or not it's a security. So how are you going to approve that ETF unless they just give them another free pass, which wouldn't really surprise us. For XRP, just below that 589, we're at 58.5 cents right now for XRP on the pump. We did go all the way up to about 62.5 cents, back down with a big wick down to 55 cents. What a buying opportunity. And once again, I don't believe that this correction is over. So let's just continue to watch it. My chips are on the sidelines. Back below 12 cents for XLM. This was one that had pumped up to about 13 cents in the weeks leading up, and it has cooled back off. For Algorand, it's back down to 18 cents. And for XDC, it's just below 5 cents. Okay, so a lot of these coins just still hanging out here. We did see Quant made that big run up. Let's take a look at Quant. We have to zoom out a little bit. Let me adjust my chart here so you guys can see what we're talking about. Quant, remember, it made that run up to 150 bucks, double tap, and it's moving sideways here basically between the 105 and the 130 level. Continue to watch it. What has Solana been up to? Solana, after topping off here at about 126, that's not an all-time high, but that's just the cycle high for Solana. And, coming back down here to below 100 bucks. We'll continue to watch it. We'll wait for the other markets to open up. The one that has been interesting has been that oil. We're going to talk a little bit more about oil a little bit here later. $23 for silver as it has climbed back up here just within the past couple days here. Okay, right. So back up to 23 bucks for silver. Gold, ever since that spot, the 2 days that we had trading were green for gold and they were red for Bitcoin ever since that spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, the narrative that they're sharing, right, is that gold ETFs need to be worried and that, that all the money that's in gold ETFs or a significant amount of it is going to start to flow towards Bitcoin because Bitcoin is digital gold, right? And you guys know the rest of the story. That's probably true. I mean, definitely a lot of folks, especially my generation, when they get to the point of thinking, oh crap, I better get some investments together, they're going to go to crypto before they go to gold. And I was actually talking about this. I had a meetup yesterday, a couple Discord members, community members that we met up with here in the local area. And we were talking about this. I made the point, it's like the younger generation is more accepting of scanning the QR code, of using digital payments in some sort of form or fashion, whereas the older generation struggles with that, but the older generation understands sound money. So that's where they start to get crypto because they understand sound money. They go to Bitcoin and they think, oh, well, it's digital gold and it's, an alternative to help me preserve some of my money from the devaluing US dollar. And this is what gets so many people in. And thankfully, many people now have had an opportunity to not only come into crypto, but expand their horizon. But we still have a whole new wave of new people that are going to be coming in. And I just hope for the sake of their bags that they don't go all in Bitcoin like I did. And they start to look at some of these other utility blockchains. And this is what I try to do, is to simplify it for the younger generation that needs to be taught the lesson on sound money, and the older generation that's just trying to figure out all this crypto stuff. I see that my webcam keeps popping on or off. I don't know what that's about. Once again, I hope that I don't have any technical difficulties during this stream. Let's keep it rocking and rolling while we're here. Now, as I was saying, Starting off here, we're going to look at a couple points here. This one from Bloomberg. Warning about the bone-chilling cold testing power grids from Texas to Alberta. Power demand in Texas projected to hit wintertime record. Consumers asked to conserve energy in the U.S. Northwest and Texas. And so I saw that from back in my area up in the Pacific Northwest, that they've been sending out requests for us to even reduce our power, our strain on the grid, and we never, we never, ever have to worry about our grid struggling. We have an abundance of energy up in the Pacific Northwest through hydroelectric dams. The only time we ever lose power up in the Northwest is if a power pole goes down. That's the only time. But even in areas that normally are under strain, are experiencing power grids getting tested. And this is why I end up talking more about prepping, preparing, having a plan in the Discord group, because it's not as sexy as, I could make YouTube videos about prepping content. It's not as sexy as crypto, and I'm sure you guys understand that. But we've had multiple conversations and classes in our Discord group talking about how we prepare, and I just want to encourage everybody here, if you guys don't have a plan for 10 days of darkness, for power going out, for the hurricane coming through, for the snowstorm coming through, for who knows what the heck they're going to send our way, or even inflation. I've found that just through prepping, I have saved money on essentials and goods. Yeah, a lot of that, some of the crap that you store away, you might not want to actually, you don't actually want to just live off canned beans or whatever it may be, right? But I'm talking about like ammo. The ammo that I stacked, I started stacking ammo before I started stacking precious metals. All of that, the return on that has to be at least double, 100, 200% at least. And it's a blackout barter, which is what we always talk about. When the lights go down, when the system goes off, the banking app's not working, we get hit with the solar flare. By the way, we're in solar maximum for the first half of this year, I think. We got another big eclipse coming up in April, I believe, along with the Bitcoin halving. So literally everything is intersecting. The eclipses from what it was a few years back, and the one that's taking place this year, they make a perfect X over the United States of America in the year 24. 24 is obviously your letter X. So for the for the numerologist in the chat, you guys can play with those numbers a little bit further, and for the astrological folks, you can take a look at that. But it is all lining up, and it's definitely going to be an exciting year. So we are prepared with our prepping, and then we also are just prepared for just an incredible bull run, I think, that we're about to enter by the second half of this year. And I'm going to talk more about that a little bit later. Let's continue going. So I wanted to take a look here at the economic calendar. As I highlighted, we have 3 data points on real estate that are going to be important. On tomorrow, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, and the markets will be closed for MLK Day. Okay. And then on Tuesday, we're going to open up, the markets will open up, and then we'll get the Empire State Manufacturing Survey. That's an important data point for manufacturing, and we will definitely be taking a look at that one. U.S. retail sales, that's going to be good. Sales minus autos. So we're going to see how well the consumer is doing, okay? Industrial production, a couple others there. And then where it really is going to get interesting is going to be on Thursday and Friday. We get the initial jobless claims. So we'll take a look at that. They'll give us that initial number, and then remember, they always revise. They have to revise and add on, oh yeah, there's even more people that aren't working. And then we're going to see housing starts and permits on Thursday as well. So that's when I'm going to be dropping my real estate update. Is going to be towards the end of this week after we get those data points and existing home sales coming in on Friday. Multiple speeches from Fed presidents and Fed chair for supervision, Michael Barr, who used to be board of advisors for Ripple. So we're going to get to hear from the Fed this week. I also wanted to show you guys the front page of Market Watch. They roll through the different ads, and so this one's for Jeep. But the reason why I left this tab open is because I wanted to remind myself to let you guys know. Earlier today when I opened up Market Watch, what appeared right here in the main ad slot was an ad for one of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, and I forget which one it was. I want to say it was Bitwise, or it was one of those. But regardless, it was one of the spot Bitcoin ETF ads right here. And the reason why I just wanted to bring that up is just to reiterate the point. We are going to have the BlackRocks and the Wall Street boys and girls that are going to be advertising for us. They are going to be, encouraging and helping to fuel widespread global adoption for us. This is great. They're going to put their marketing machine behind this. We have the CEO of BlackRock saying that cryptocurrencies are going to transcend traditional currencies, and so it's just, once again, we're going to talk about it here towards the end of the show. This second wave, this bull run is not over. It's really just getting started, and we have a second wave that's going to be coming in, and I believe that utility is going to be the primary driver. More on that here later. Now, I wanted to share this one with you guys. Another one from Bloomberg right here. Congress nears deal on $70 billion tax break for businesses and child tax cuts. Now, hopefully we get this through. Let me take a sip of my adult beverage. Cheers to lower taxes. U.S. lawmakers aim to enact breaks for January 29th tax season start. So this is something that they're looking to get passed right now. And Biden could see boost for expanded child payments to parents. I'm expecting this to get done because it's an election year, and they don't want this to go away on their watch. It's just like allowing the economy to crash on their watch. That's why they don't want that to happen. And that's why I think that the Fed's going to have to come in and save the day eventually. But they are negotiating this right now. This is senators from both sides of the aisle, and it's a $70 billion proposal, okay? Evenly split between the corporate tax cuts and the child credit to their colleagues as talks continue. So a $70 billion proposal, and really when you think about this, this is a form of stimulus, easing, call it whatever you want. This is bullish for our economy and for our markets, right? This is good. Now, once again, do I agree with most of what they're doing in DC? Absolutely not, right? But this is how they play politics, and we want to understand that, and we want to be able to take advantage of this, right? The corporate tax cuts. I talk about this. I've been talking about this for years when I stated that Trump accelerated the greatest transfer of wealth in world history because he reduced taxes and he cut out regulations. Now, please understand this. This is very important. This isn't pro-Trump, bad Trump, good guy, bad guy, white hat, black hat. No. This is taxes were cut no matter who you are, what you believe in, who you want to marry, who you want to... No matter what side of the aisle you're on, taxes were cut for businesses and corporations. Now, this is the difference between the cash flow quadrant. Getting into the right quadrant where you can take advantage of these tax cuts. See, everybody thinks, these are just tax cuts for the rich. These same laws apply for you. You should be paying 1% tax like Trump and Bezos and all the other big hitters that pay almost nothing in taxes. They're doing it the right way. And like I said, this is not a Trump thing. This is not a left-right thing. This is get your family on the right side of the transfer of wealth. That's already started. It's already underway. And I believe that it will be, continued. As we see right now, we're going through a destruction moment. We're going through it had to be this way moment. And hopefully we can, God willing, save our country. And regardless, they're going to turn back on that money printer. And so this is our opportunity. This chaos, this destruction that they're bringing allows us to bring order. See, this is their motto. We need to flip it on the enemy. They live by ritualized sacrifice of the masses, harvesting our energy and using it against us. They are the ones that live off of bringing order to the chaos. As they said, never let a crisis go to waste. That's our opportunity. It's our chance to step in here and fight against what they got coming our way and take advantage of the stuff like this that they're passing. Hey, you want to give a child tax credit? I'll keep pumping them out as fast as I can. And probably taking a break for a few years, but I'm going to wait for us to get out of this economy, and then maybe we can afford a couple more. But if they keep on bringing the child tax credits, we might have to keep on banging them out. You guys know the deal. Once again, this should be passed here sometime in the next month or so because it's set to expire in January, I believe is what it said right here. Yeah. For the January 29th tax season start. Yeah, so they want to get this done maybe in the next couple months. We'll continue to watch that. Now, another deal that we're going to see if they get it done or not, this is going to be a big one, is the Bank Term Funding Program, the BTFP. You guys have been hearing me talk about it. It's set to expire in March. And last week, we got Fed Vice Chair of Supervision, Michael Barr, who was former Board of Advisors for Ripple, by the way. That's right. He's in charge of watching and managing the banking crisis. All roads do lead back to Ripple. He spoke along with one other Fed chairperson, and this is what Daniela DiMartino Booth is sharing with us right here. For those who might have been vacationing last week, which I was, and I didn't catch this, so thank you, Daniela, for sharing this with folks that were vacationing and out of the loop like me. But we had Barr and we had Williams, who is the VC of the FOMC, separately stating that the BTFP was an emergency facility whose purpose was fulfilled and would end as scheduled in March. She shares an article here from the Financial Times and is talking about the comments that Barr made about how it was a temporary program, really wasn't meant to last forever. And then Williams doubled down kind of on that sentiment, saying that it has been fulfilled, it did its job, and then it might not be needed to continue. Now, that all sounds great, right? Until the banking crisis pops back up. Once again, it hasn't gone away. And so all they need is the excuse for some bank collapses. There's an ongoing liquidity crisis as we speak. I highlighted in our most recent live show about how 41% of small businesses are late or delinquent or can't pay their rent. That's the real economy, by the way. While the S&P 500 is going back up to all-time high, 41% of small businesses can't pay rent? This is what we warned about. We talked about this moment, right? Just being prepared for the recession that started in 2022 that they didn't want to call recession, and it extending out here. Them burning it down, controlled demolition style, all through this current administration, whatever's taking place in DC. I don't blame Biden. I don't spend any time, worrying about who to put the blame on. It's just, how do I prepare? And how do I take advantage? That's all I'm concerned with. We're going to be watching this. March 11th, it's set to expire. And this is what gets so interesting about the time frame over the next couple months. And I apply this analysis back to the crypto markets. So crypto had this incredible run up because all of the markets are just thinking that the Fed has achieved a soft landing. It's won the fight against inflation. Now it's just managing the business cycle, all talking head pundit. If you turn on CNBC, you will listen to every single guy say that, right? And the market's back up, risk on's back on, and crypto has additional accelerant in it that really sends it to the moon. And it has over 100x leverage. That is what takes crypto up. That's the opportunity, is because crypto can go even crazier than the traditional markets, but it also gets killed faster too. And this is where the crypto bros, the Bitcoin bros in particular, got caught off guard last week, right? We tried to warn the Bitcoin bros. I tried to say, guys, you're getting set up here. They didn't want to listen. And here we are back at 42,000, okay? Now, let's continue on. March. Okay, so over the next couple months, I'm expecting it to break. I'm expecting war to continue. I just saw what was the other countries that I just saw today? And it was in Africa. It was like Ethiopia and one other country now are about to go to war. And it sounds like, who cares? You're over here in the West, you're in the United States like me, and you're thinking, who cares? Two countries in Africa going to war. Is that going to affect us? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Because what's happening right now is the disruption in the supply chain that's not really getting talked about. And that's happening in the Red Sea with the Middle East conflict, Israel-Gaza, expanding out down to Yemen. By the way, did we declare war? Have we declared war against Yemen? Against a recognizable definable enemy with specific and clear goals, objectives? No, no. But what we have right now is direct engagement with the United States and British Air Force as well, right now in Yemen, engaging the Houthi rebels. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be putting up a defense. I want us to be the strongest country in the world. I want us to have great defensive measures. But we've been blurring the line over defense versus offense versus, conducting operations for decades and wasting trillions. And unfortunately, God, please forgive us for the loss of life that's come in our wake. That's the military-industrial complex at work for you. And this is what has me concerned about the next couple months. Ongoing banking crisis. Can they renew the Bank Term Funding Program? And what's going to happen to cause them to do so? And then just watching the current events, right? Watching that war continue to expand. It's Israel, Gaza, Ukraine, Russia, Venezuela, Guyana, Taiwan, and China. I mean, Taiwan literally just elected someone from a party that's basically an opposition party to China. Meanwhile, Xi Jinping over in China is saying, oh yeah, we're going to reunify. Absolutely. Absolutely. Zero doubt in his mind. Zero confusion in his statement. We will be reunifying. Does everybody understand what that means? I don't think that that's going to be a peaceful transition. Now, how much of a fight are we going to put up? We will see. But once again, the point remains, from the United States perspective, is we have been spread very thin. We are broke. We are bust. In our system, the cracks are widening. And so I'm really interested to see how the next couple months play out. What's going to happen? What kind of March 2020 simulation event? Disease X. I mean, I could have a whole list of the black swan scenarios that we are looking at dead in the face right now. Disease X that's going to be 20 times worse than, you know the deal. May God be with us. Let's continue on. Now, this is concerning. This is concerning. What we're taking a look at right here is our oil. Oil declines as tough outlook overshadows Middle East tensions. Now, it's interesting to watch this oil trading that's been taking place. We have the U.S. launching fresh strikes against the Houthis in follow-up attack, multiple tanker companies pausing voyage through the Red Sea. Remember that Iran just captured a ship that is being ran by Americans. And what we have here with oil, a commodity that started to run up based off of these tensions, but now it continues to sell off and it continues to stay suppressed right now. Or we have oil traders and the oil market that is signaling how much worse it's about to get, i.e. recession and other events, right? Because the fact is the supply chain and the amount of shipping that has gone through the Red Sea has declined to levels that we haven't seen since 2021. So what's going to happen, or what should be happening, is prices should be going up. Oil should be going up a lot higher. What some people are suggesting is that oil is being suppressed right now, and they're not going to be able to keep it suppressed much longer. They're trying to cover this thing up. And you have to remember, why would they want to suppress this? Well, when you bring it back to the United States, the political angle on this is that, and that real, how it relates to the economic data is the CPI lie came back down to 3.1%, right? 3.2%, because the dollar was strong and because oil had come back down. Oil had cooled off since 2021. Well, now we're starting to see it started to break, but it's still kind of remaining suppressed. Or we look at it as a signal of the oil traders know that we're heading into a recession this year, that demand is falling off drastically. And so we have a lot of things that are converging right now, and it's going to be interesting to watch that. Just another signal, another data point that we're going to continue to watch along with this one right here, which really tells a interesting story. M2 money supply is contracting for the first time since the 1930s. Now, can you guys remind me in the chat below what took place in the 1930s? Right? The Great Depression. And once again, how many of these data points take us back to the great financial crisis, to the dot-com bubble? I really like to relate and compare to the dot-com bubble because what we have right now is crypto, right? So the dot-com, all the tech companies, that was the new, it wasn't a new asset class, but it was a new industry. It was a new sector, basically. And now, as you see, with the S&P 500 going up to an all-time high, the Magnificent Seven are all stock, all companies in that sector, tech. Now, what's coming around this cycle is probably going to be a historical, some call it a biblical moment, crash, correction. And we'll see how deep of a correction it is. I think there isn't going to be another V-shaped recovery because, as I've highlighted here, they're going to try to paper this thing back over during this election cycle. Okay. Now, what is M2 money supply? I want to make sure that you guys know what we're looking at right here. So let's take a look at this thing right here. M2 money supply is contracting for the first time since 1930. Once again, this is your chart right here. Okay. This is your chart. M2 money supply contracting for the first time since 1930, Great Depression. Not good, not good. So I pulled this up on Google. What makes up M1 and M2 money supply? So M1 equals coins and currencies in circulation. So you're talking about physical cash and money that people have and checking accounts, okay? Also includes traveler's checks. But basically, it's all the money that people have in cash and or in their checking accounts. Now, M2 equals M1 plus savings, deposits, money market funds, CDs, and other time deposits. So what's been interesting to watch is Americans had excess savings that had just gone to the moon. After the pandemic, after all of the money printing, after all the stimulus, we went to excess savings that we'd never achieved before. I believe it was a couple trillion. And you can see on that chart for our excess savings, it is falling off completely. In fact, it's set to literally go to zero excess savings by March or April. So once again, we're right on this timeline of, between here and March, April, where things are not looking good. Things are looking spicy, to say the least. And that's excess savings and M2 money supply now dropping off as well. And what you've seen is a lot of people have been piling into these money market funds, and this is actually up, okay? But the level that we're at right now, at the rate of it, it's falling off at a level that we haven't seen since the 1930s. This is another cause for concern, okay? So once again, another data point that just reiterates our point. Now, on the back end of all of this crap taking place, I'm bringing up the next tweet to show you the stupidity of our markets and where we're at in this cycle. How stupid we can be when we're on the brink of an absolute financial tsunami. Take a look at this one, folks. From Amy Nixon, Texas runner, Dallas, Fort Worth. She says, let's caption this, too much liquidity. I saw somebody else retweet this and they said that Fed Chair Jerome Powell should raise rates another 100 basis points right away. Basically, he hasn't, tightened enough because of this stupidity that continues to go on. And what you're looking at right here, this person says, this feels like a top signal for the S&P 500. We have Stanley Starbucks exclusive 2024 Winter Pink 40-ounce cups that are selling for $12,000. Talk about a sign of the times. This meme, we're going to be looking back on this, when our children and our grandchildren ask us, what were you doing during the greatest transfer of wealth in world history? And we can tell them that we were buying real value, real assets. But then we'll be able to tell them, you're not going to believe this, son. There were people that were literally selling Starbucks mugs, coffee mugs, for 12,000 freaking dollars. Now, hats off to them. If somebody can flip their Starbucks Stanley, it's an exclusive collab between Starbucks and Stanley, and I don't know what they bought them for, but if somebody's dumb enough to buy it, God bless them. But it's a perfect top signal, a sign of the times of where we're at, the delusion out here, and the absurdity of where we are at in this cycle, on the brink of financial destruction, financial tsunami facing us right in front of us. $12,000 Stanley mugs. And I'm over here still drinking light beer. I only like light beer. I don't like dark beer anyways, but I'm still drinking cheap beer. I'm still take care of the family, and I know that wifey likes her little Stanley Cup. I don't know what the deal is with these Stanley Cups. They are kind of nice. They're pretty nice. I will say that. But $12,000? Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. Shannon, I see your question from earlier. It's not just Alberta and Texas. I was talking about how even in the Pacific Northwest, where I'm from, we're having issues with our grid as well, too. Which, what's funny about our grid up there is that we got to protect our grid from all the eco-terrorists that keep on attacking our grid up in my state. Literally. What's a bigger threat to our grid? Climate change or eco-terrorists? Seriously. I better be careful. I'm going to get in trouble. Let's see what else we had to cover here. I wanted to share this one. Okay, so once again, guys, let's bring this back home for everyone. And if you guys haven't already, please make sure that you like this video. Please share this content out far and wide with all of your friends and family, loved ones that you care about, and loved ones that you're trying to get tapped in. Really do appreciate all the love and the support. In the description of this video should be my website, zachrector.com. If you need any of our community resources, it's all there. But let's land this plane. So I go through all of this. My apologies for 40 minutes of ranting about how bad the economic data is and how screwed we are. On the other side of this, V-shaped recovery, they're going to come back in to save the day. Maybe they turn back on that BTFP, that Bank Term Funding Program. They're going to turn back on that money printer. They're going to cut interest rates. They're going to forgive student loan. They're going to keep on telling us that Bidenomics is working even better. They're going to continue with the, sorry, my webcam keeps glitching in and out. They're going to continue with the tax savings. We highlighted that earlier in this episode, right? They're going to continue with the child tax credit. Maybe they'll even up the credit. If they up the credit, maybe we can all have some more babies. And then they're with the corporate taxes and all that, they want to extend that out as well. They're going to do everything that they can in their power to paper this thing over and to cover this thing up. What does this equal for crypto? All-time high back for Bitcoin, for XRP, and for probably many of your favorite coins as well. As long as they're not some meme coin that already did a pump and dump and is probably already dead. Those ones probably aren't going to recover. Those ones are probably done. But for all of the utility cryptocurrencies that we're looking at, the all-time highs are coming. The new wave, the second wave of crypto utility is coming. And the run-up that we just got, we were warning everyone, weren't we? We said, guys, this isn't it. This is not to Valhalla up and up forever. This is a run-up, a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Enjoy the pump. If you got some cryptos that are going right now, consider taking profits because this is going to correct. And sure enough, it has. Now what do? We continue with dollar cost averaging. I'm not here to tell you what to do or give you financial advice. I'm just telling you what I do. I'm telling you what many people in our community are doing, which is buying. We have people that bought XRP today. We got people that are buying other altcoins. I just picked up another altcoin myself, and I'm looking over other coins right now, trying to find if there's any other hidden gems that I might be able to get a quick bag on. Just seeing what's out there. 99% of it's absolute crap. Absolutely. That's why I don't spend too much time. It's not how I spend the majority of my time is looking for meme coins or looking for hidden gems, because that's a tough job in this market. But the point that I wanted to bring home was this correction, this black swan scenario, it's going to actually be in our favor because we prepared ourselves for this moment in time. And it saddens me to see 41% of small businesses can't pay their rent and can't pay their bills. Because if they can't pay their rent, 41% of businesses can't pay their rent, or they're going to be late on their rent, that means that they can't pay for other bills too. And we're talking about the small businesses that run this country. That hurts me, okay? But at the same, on the other side of that coin, there's two sides to each coin, and true intelligence is being on the edge and being able to see both sides. So when I see the blood in the streets, on the other side, I see that the sun is shining today, i.e., the opportunity only continues to grow. And I am in control of my businesses, my investments, and my life, my family. So I have a choice. Do I want to just get drowned out in all this bad news? Or do I want to see that, wait, on the other side of this is massive opportunity. And when you start to really understand it, you realize, wow, there's almost more opportunity out here than I can even get to, right? And it's only going to get better for us. Our program only works better during these moments. And then on the other side of all of the money printing, all the stimulus, all the paper over, our assets go to a much higher price, which gives us more fuel, more ammunition, and it's going to be about rotating assets, rotating investments from cryptocurrency into real estate, cryptocurrency into your side hustle, into your business, cryptocurrency into private equity. My main focus is on private equity and real estate as far as reallocation of assets. I've gone heavy on crypto. I've gone heavy on cash. That's what I've done over the last 2 years, 2022, 2023. I continue to stack crypto, but as soon as I had my first child and became a family man, I had to start stacking so I could be ready, be liquid. And I got to buy my family a house, maybe someday. So I'm patiently waiting with my cash on the sidelines to absolutely snipe a deal. Absolutely snipe a deal. And on the other side of that, private equity and our real estate portfolio, it's only going to get better from here, folks, if you're prepared. Like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm going to be going, because this city, this metro that I'm in right here, this is going to be ground zero. This is going to be one of the cities that corrects the hardest, I believe. And I'm about to go drive out to the desert before I head back to the Pacific Northwest. I'm about to drive on out to the desert, and I'm going to go drive around so I can see it firsthand. It hits different when you drive through the neighborhood of hundreds of new homes that are in different phases of construction. Meanwhile, in the area that I'm in, there's a battle underway right now as folks are not getting the return that they used to on their Airbnbs. The city that I'm in, Airbnbs went absolutely stupid. Now that game ain't playing the same way. And it's all opportunity. It's all opportunity. If you stay prepared, if you stay ready to take action, if you're building out the relationships that are going to get you across the finish line right now. That's what we're focused on. Tyrus, I want to say thank you for the 2-spot. Tyrus, thank you very much. Now, I'm not done. I have another data point that I want to share with you guys. These guys played stupid. These guys talked their book. Larry Fink and Charlie Gasparino were laughing, texting back and forth after Larry Fink was asked by Charlie, what are your thoughts on an XRP ETF? Now, everybody saw the clip. Everybody saw my video. Everybody saw my prediction. A lot of people got offended because I made a prediction. Not sorry for making a prediction. I already made my case on why I was sorry for confusing people, because the way that I titled my video said that it was confirmed And so I apologize for confusing people. It was not confirmed. What I was trying to say was this confirms for me my prediction that they are going to launch an ETF product with XRP in it. And I 100% believe that and stand by that. In the last live show that I did was XRP ETF Explained. If you missed it, I would highly encourage you guys to go back and watch it. And if you missed it, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss my content. Because the XRP ETF Explained video, I went through the basics. Definition, currency, commodity, security, definition, ETF, all the different types. I went through the whole list of ETFs that you can have. You can have corn ETFs, oil ETFs, gold ETFs. It doesn't mean that the underlying asset is a security. It means that you are putting a commodity in an ETF. It means that you're putting a currency into an ETF. You can put strategies in an ETF, inverse ETFs. You can put whatever the hell you want in an ETF, literally. And I mean, you could put beer companies. You could have a beer ETF, and the ETF would go out and buy. Maybe you wouldn't want to. Maybe you would, to go out and buy Bud Light or all the other. What's the main company that owns all of the beer companies? You get my point. You could make a beer ETF and you just buy a bunch of equity in beer companies. There's literally a breakfast ETF. And it's an ETF that buys equity in companies that produce bacon, eggs, sausage. Literally. It doesn't change the underlying asset, the definition, and the function of the underlying asset. Okay? So if XRP gets put into an ETF, that doesn't make XRP a security. XRP is a commodity and a currency. Period. I am of the opinion that we don't need to wait for Congress or anybody else to give us a new definition or a new asset class. I am of the opinion that we already have clear definitions and understandings and laws on the books, that all that we're talking about right now is digital versions of commodities, currencies, and securities. I believe that most tokens in and of themselves are commodities and currencies. To which level they are currencies depend on how many users they have. If me and my buddy have created a token and we're the only ones that own it, that's not a currency. It's not a money system. Is you and one other person a money system? Technically, maybe, I guess. It's a worthless money system. But do you have a commodity? Do you have something with utility? Even if it's backed by whatever the heck you want to say it's backed by, or maybe it's backed by nothing, like all these meme coins, right? Then you have what would be a commodity. If you have equity in a company or an investment vehicle that meets the Howey test, you have a security. If you have an investment of money in a common enterprise, expecting profits based off the efforts of others, you have a security. It's really actually clear cut and dry. In my opinion, the only thing that we're up against right now is the SEC trying to expand their jurisdiction where they know they shouldn't be. The SEC knows that these tokens in and of themselves are not securities. A lot of them. What they do know is that a lot of these ICOs were securities offerings. They were investment contracts. That's what they should stick to. Stick to your lane. You guys are collecting record amount of money. You don't need to try to get the whole crypto space. There's been and once again, who the hell are you here to protect? Because you're allowing FTX and all the fraudsters to run rampant. Ethereum to create tens of thousands of worthless tokens and rug pulls, and it's been straight up wealth extraction out of middle class people that are trying to invest in all these ERC20 tokens based off of your Ethereum free pass. Chris, I see you, brother. Are you kidding me, Chris? Christopher, are you kidding me? A 200 spot? Brother, my man, I'm not even wearing one of your shirts tonight. Huge shout out to Chris. He's the one that made me the David Schwartz Simpson character shirt. That's a fan favorite. Everybody loves that, but it's an exclusive one. He only sends it out to cool people like me and a couple other people. And he won't make it mass production. I told Chris, we got to go mass production with this. But huge shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much for making some of the best merch. And I got to meet Chris in Vegas, and he said that he was the official merch rep of David Schwartz. I believed him. Chris, I believed you, which you might as well be, because you make awesome Simpson David Schwartz characters. Love it. Thank you so much for the support, brother. I really do. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Cheers, brother. Thank you so much, brother. Okay, this is what I wanted to say, though. Final point was BlackRock pretending to play dumb, pretending to play stupid, pretending like they don't know. Charlie and Larry Fink were literally sending texts laughing at us. Laughing at probably, maybe even my video. Maybe somebody sent my video to them. Who knows? And once again, just to clarify, with my video, all I was trying to put out was a prediction. I'm only predicting that BlackRock is going to launch an ETF with XRP in it. It might not just be solely XRP, but it might be like a large cap fund like Grayscale did. Excuse me. And I firmly believe that. When you look at BlackRock, they have 4 gold ETFs. 1 is in equities and 3 are in commodities. So you have 3 of them that basically just track the price of gold, the underlying asset, and then you have 1 of them that invests in miners. And for me, I see a big opportunity when you look at this, fintech space with companies like Ripple, all the private equity opportunities that we have. This is an incredible opportunity to not just buy the underlying assets, but also buy the quote unquote miners, the picks and shovels, right? And that's what we're looking at right now. Now, to reiterate the point on how they try to play dumb, Larry Fink says that he can't talk about it, which for me, that was the confirmation. If they weren't going to do it, if they weren't thinking of doing anything with XRP, he would have came out and said that. He would have said, no, we have no plans. We're not interested. We don't think it has any utility. He would have said something along those lines, but he didn't. And what we see is now Charlie Gasparino came out and he put out another tweet, I think it was today, and he wanted to clarify. He said that Larry Fink doesn't even know XRP. And the only question that I have for Charlie is, Charlie, how the hell is it possible that BlackRock would put an ex-Ripple employee, Robert Mitchnick, as the head of the global digital assets at BlackRock and not know about XRP? How would this gentleman, who is now saying that cryptocurrencies are going to transcend traditional currencies, not know every single crypto in the top 10? You want me to believe that he doesn't know about XRP? No, they know about XRP, and there was a reason why they added Robert Mitchnick as head of global digital assets. I'm going to play a legendary clip right here from Robert Mitchnick while he was at Ripple. I believe this is when he was at Ripple. I don't know the date of this when he made these comments, but listen in closely. It's about a 60-second clip. Listen in closely towards the end where he explains this went from being an opportunity, something kind of cool, maybe a little investment, to, oh crap, if we don't figure this out, we're going to get left behind. That's what's at stake here for these companies right now. And that is why BlackRock tapped into a guy from Ripple to head up their global digital assets at BlackRock. Take a listen in on this one, folks. This is truly incredible.
Most people recognize that out of all the developments in the blockchain and digital assets ecosystem, DeFi is potentially the most transformative, right? It's also, in some ways, the the furthest afield from being able to kind of have widespread adoption. But unlike, in the early days, permission blockchain use case here or crypto here, there's not one institution in finance who doesn't have some path to being disrupted by DeFi, right? So everything else has been a mix of kind of opportunities and maybe threats. DeFi forces everyone to say, what does this mean for us if this actually happens? So everybody's paying attention. You're just not at the point yet where you've got kind of banks and asset managers. Yeah. Most people recognize that.
So it becomes a matter of, if we don't figure this out, we're going to get left behind. And so that's why it's an absolute joke that, these guys want to play dumb. These guys want to talk their book. And I'm a firm believer that there is some sort of relationship, partnership. Maybe they're not utilizing XRP yet. Maybe they haven't added XRP to their balance sheet yet. But once again, we know about all the pre-allocation contracts. We know about all the deals. And it's just, how can you, there's no one else in the crypto space that's going to get a job at BlackRock, period. Most of the crypto companies in the world can't even get BlackRock to pick up the phone, literally, let alone go head up global digital assets at BlackRock. I always say this, these other crypto kids cannot even get anybody that matters to even pick up the phone. They can't get through the secretary, literally. Meanwhile, Ripple, Treasury Department, come work here. And it's just this revolving door. Just like you see the revolving door between Wall Street and politicians, now you see a revolving door between Ripple and every sector of finance and money and government that matters. Now, I did want to share one other point too. Let me pull this up real quick. I had retweeted this out. I got to give a shout out to Crypto Hulk. Crypto Hulk was the gentleman that originally found this. Huge shout out to Hulk. He's always looking up and finding some crazy stuff, isn't he? I know a lot of people in our community listen to Hulk, and I always see his clips because he's always going viral on Twitter. And for me, when I first saw what he posted about how Ripple's a division of the government, I was like, okay, well, they're not a division of the government, I don't think. But absolutely, when you go to the application to apply for them, you can pull it up. They want you to fill out a form that is basically necessary for every government contractor to fill out. So one would think that they have to have some sort of government contractor, subcontractor deal with the United States government because they're requiring US-based employees. Maybe, I don't think that they're doing it with their international employees. Maybe they are. But for sure, this is for their lead software engineer at their San Francisco location here in the US. They are asking you to fill out this form. I'll show you guys it right here. I asked the question, I said, so Ripple has a contract with the United States government because they're having you fill out this form, which is a voluntary self-identification of disability. And why are you being asked to complete this form? Well, you can see it right here. You are being asked to complete this form because we are a federal contractor or subcontractor. That is why. We are a federal contractor or subcontractor. Now, I did, in the comments below this, I did give a shout out to Hulk. I made sure, shout out to Crypto Hulk for the find. Okay. So huge shout out to Hulk. He found this one, and he finds a lot of crazy stuff. And that's what our XRP community does, right? And once again, folks, when we've tied this whole thing together, you see it's not a game. It's not a joke for these guys. It's not even just a little opportunity. Oh, this little crypto stuff might be cool. Might be able to make some money. No, it's a matter of we better figure out institutional DeFi or we're going to get left behind, which is why they are calling up Ripple. It's not even Ripple calling them. In my opinion, I think it's going the other way around. And we know it is. We know it is. JP Morgan sending 15 executives to the offices of Ripple. That's not Ripple calling up JP Morgan. Hey, we'd love to pitch you. That's JP Morgan saying, we're coming to take everything you got. That's how JP Morgan operates. We're coming to get a piece of this action, whether you like it or not. It's going to be our way or the highway. That's how JP Morgan and Jamie Dimon operates. Meanwhile, what's Jamie Dimon doing? Talking about it being worthless, only used for crime. And he literally did this last week. This is how the setup is being played right now. Jamie Dimon last week was still reiterating the point that he thinks that crypto's mostly just used for crime, bad stuff, illegal activity. Meanwhile, JP Morgan is the authorized participant on like half of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which means he's making money. They don't care whether Bitcoin has value or not. They're going to make all that dang money. And that's how these guys operate. Unlike little Joe Blow YouTuber like me that comes out and is like, hey guys, I picked up this coin. I made a trade. I shorted Bitcoin. I literally just come out and tell you guys everything besides our most intimate details of my life. I try to, not share too much details, but I dang near open up the whole books for you guys because that's how I like to operate. I actually have a conscience, unlike these guys that are just, they could care less. And in fact, that's how they operate, is to deceive. I couldn't sleep with myself at night if I was doing that, but that's how they live by. Now, hey Zach, what are you thinking about our XRP will be illegal to own? I don't think that they're going to make it illegal. I just think that we're going to have a supply shock incoming. And what gets interesting, if you guys missed the video that I dropped earlier today, if Judge Torres rules that, well, actually she already did. Judge Torres already ruled that all of the institutional sales, even the ones for on-demand liquidity, were securities. If that ruling stands and Ripple doesn't appeal, or even if Ripple did appeal and they lost on that, then that means that Ripple has to restructure how they distribute XRP. And it could open up a scenario where they would have to only sell it off to exchanges programmatically, and they'd only be able to do blind bid ask offers, selling off to exchanges and to other people in just a direct sale way, where they wouldn't be able to sell over the counter to institutions where they've been giving these institutions kind of a deal. That would go away. But I think that that's very unlikely. I think it's very unlikely. And I think that Ripple's going to appeal on that point, or they're just going to settle up and then they're going to be able to continue structuring these contracts in a way where they're not going to get in trouble. JJ, I appreciate the 5 spot, brother. I really do appreciate that. Rebecca says, I love that about you, Zach. I appreciate that, Rebecca. Thank you so much. Sup, fam? I hope all is well and your plans are working out. Let all the facts be revealed. Stay healthy and PMA positive mental attitude. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, being down here in the sunshine has elevated my mood. Out of the gray, cloudy gloom of the Pacific Northwest into the sunshine. And it just so happened to be that it got down to like 10 degrees back home where I'm at. I know it got colder in some of your guys' areas, but 10 degrees is pretty cold for the Pacific Northwest where I'm at. And so down here, I mean, it's only getting up to about 57, 58 degrees. But with the sun shining, it's a heck of a lot better than what's taking place back home. So I know that has had me in a great mood. Just had a great time here on vacation, getting to refresh with the family. I hope that you guys all appreciate the updates that I've continued to bring. Just continuing to show up every single day for you guys and our community, making sure that you guys are staying prepared and tapped in and taking advantage of this opportunity. Really do appreciate all the support. And like I said in the description down below, the only thing that should be there should be my website, zachrector.com. So that's where all of our community resources are at for precious metals. Roll over a 401k, get them shipped directly to you. We also have our exchanges for crypto. We also have wallets for storing crypto. And then in our private Discord community, you get tapped in by going to my website, and you get access through Patreon to our Discord group. So go to Patreon, you sign up there, get access to Discord. And last week, speaking on wallets and exchanges, Last week, we had our good community member, good friend, Jay, who provided so much good content in about a 2-hour session on wallets and exchanges. And so we run classes over there. I do weekly calls every single Saturday. And it's a way to get in direct contact with me, whether you want me to review a coin, you want me to review your business, whether you just want to be able to chat with us in the private group, that's where it goes down. And so once again, I really do appreciate all the support. If you guys haven't already, please like this video on the way out. Please share it out far and wide. And I will see you guys tomorrow with another update where we're going to be talking about Ripple on their way to the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, starting tomorrow. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking about Brad, Monica Long, sitting down with the elite and helping reestablish trust, I think, is one of the mottos of the conference that's going to be taking place. So I'm going to do my best not to get in trouble when I talk about it, but make sure you guys stay tuned for that video. It's going to be dropping tomorrow, okay? Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're new here. Appreciate the love, support from everyone, all the super chats tonight. Huge shout out to JJ, Chris, big one. Love you, brother. And looking forward to meeting some of you guys in person this year too. By the way, we just had a meetup yesterday here in Phoenix. I got another one coming up in Vancouver for the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. We're going to see you guys in Vegas. It's going to be a big year. We're going to have a lot of fun. Much love to all you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. God bless.